And now we're live. Now we're recording. Now we're getting
Yay!
after it. Simone.
Hello.
Was that was that good at all or
Yeah, it
no?
was really
Was it
good.
okay?
No, it was really good.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you are the master at figuring out if that was good or not. And I
Thank you.
think real quick, if you don't mind, I kind of want to gas you up a little bit.
Hey.
Do you mind if I
Okay.
gas you up a little bit and
Listen, you can gas me up. I'll sit here, drink my water.
give you some flowers
Yeah.
real
Oh,
quick?
yeah. I love my flowers.
Um, Nominated for a Grammy for I Like It. You went to the Berklee College of Music?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Wild. Um, you're you're diamond.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Whoa. Some
Yep.
people don't know what diamond is. What's diamond, Simone?
It's when something's over 10 times platinum. So we've worked on things that have gone. That's diamonds level.
That's a lot of platinum.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Actually, you can't see
Oh,
it. It's the one. Yeah, you can't see it. My plaque that I have for I Like It. So I Like It is the one that went it's over diamond now. It's actually 12 times platinum. But the plaque that I have is only the 6X plaque. But I have
yeah,
that this one's Be Careful. This is the 2 times platinum plaque, but it's I think 4 now. But yeah.
yeah. You know, only diamond. That's it.
Only
No,
diamond.
no big deal. You've worked with artists like Becky G, Chloe Bailey, Normani, Anita, Cardi fucking B, Camila Cabello. Did I say that correctly?
Uh-huh.
Monster X, Jessie J, Billy Porter, Backstreet Boys. Everybody knows the Backstreet
Backstreet
fucking
Boys. That was
Boys.
cool. Yeah.
Vocal producing on Becky G's Coming Your Way. Uh, Normani's Motivation. You engineered on I Like It and Be Careful.
Hmm.
Um, and you vocal produced on some TV shit, some TV projects.
Yep.
Purple Hearts
Hmm.
hit the number one spot, and an Emmy nominated show.
Hmm. Grease Rise
And
Up in
guess what?
Flames.
If that wasn't enough, you were on X Factor,
Oh yeah, oh my God.
which
So
is
many years ago.
which was 2012. You were 19 years old. You go up there and
Hmm.
you're like, "What's up? I'm Simone. I'm gonna sing a song." And Simon Cowell's like, "Are you going to be any good?"
You watched it.
And you're like,
I was like,
I fucking hope so. I mean, what kind of question is that for
I don't
one?
know. They were fucking with me for sure.
But you answered confidently. You're like, I'm about to, you know what I'm saying? I'm
No,
gonna
I
sing some
didn't.
shit.
I said, I hope you think so. I'm gonna try my best. That's what I said.
But you were just you didn't fold. You
Oh,
didn't
no.
fold. And I love that. And
Thanks.
your family's like just like crying
Yeah.
and so proud. And I was just
Yeah.
like, that is dope. Seeing a really
Thank you.
supportive family. I just love that shit. But then you
Thank
just
you.
proceeded to tear the fucking house down.
Thank you.
Roaring applause. All the judges were like, oh shit, I wasn't expecting that.
Nice.
And that was awesome.
Thank you.
You were honored by the Latin Recording Academy as a leading lady of entertainment in
Hmm.
2023.
Yeah, that was so
That's a
cool.
fucking big deal. I think I remember
That's
you
a huge
going out
deal.
there for that.
For Sevilla, that was one of the biggest moments of my career, my life, like everything. Yeah, that was really, really special.
Yeah, it seems special,
Thank
and
you.
that's awesome. Like these
Thank you.
achievements that you have are incredible. You you teach,
Hmm.
you teach a master class, but while you're engineering and when you vocal produce, you're also kind of teaching as well.
Hmm. Yeah.
Have you been singing like your whole life?
Yeah. So, yeah, I was singing my whole life, but professionally, I started singing at 9. That's when I started gigging at weddings and corporate events and restaurants every weekend from when I was 9 until college. And then college, I did 4 to 5 times a week. Um, and
Jeez.
yeah, but singing has always been a thing for me. My dad sings as well. And so we had an entertainment company growing up called Grooveline Entertainers, and they still have it. You know, he still gigs and sings. He's a salsero. And yeah. So my after then I left for college, my sister sang with him. And then after she left for college, my brother went with him. And it was very much
The whole family.
that was the thing, you know. Singing's always been such a big piece of me. But engineering I found later on, and I found that out of necessity because I I'd been through so many things, especially young growing up as a singer and put into studios. Like I released my first album, Voy a enseñarte. Okay, right? Ready
That
for this?
chair looks hella comfy, by the way.
Oh, thank you. It's called an All 33. It's like developed by chiropractors. Okay, this is my first CD.
Look at your little
It's
face.
called Experience Simone. But
Yes.
bro, this is and the title track is My Teddy, My Friend, because the original song was
No.
written for someone else and it was called My Lover, My Friend, but I was 11 and they're like, "No, okay, you're going to sing about a teddy bear." And I got to go to Build-A-Bear. And I was so excited to go to Build-A-Bear. And I had my teddy bear on stage. I'm like, "My teddy, my friend."
Oh my goodness. So you've been in the game. You've been in the game for a minute.
Yeah, making music for a long time, but now it took me so long because, that, and then I had multiple demos and I would meet with labels and I would have so many recordings of myself, but I never had anything that I felt like sounded like me. And I didn't know how to communicate what was wrong with it. I just knew it wasn't right. And especially after X Factor, when I was put in with all these producers and I couldn't follow through. I didn't know who I was as an artist. I had, grown up imitating. So as a wedding singer, like you're always imitating sound, and I was good at imitating, but I didn't
Uh,
know what mine was because also I wasn't writing yet at that point either. Um, I thought that to write music, you had to sit with just pen and paper and it just comes to you. And like I wasn't an instrumentalist. I could get by on piano and guitar, but not well. And so yeah, so I started this journey of engineering to learn how to record myself out of frustration and um how to also communicate better in the studio. And then I found this career vocal production along the way. And now it's very cool because it's come full circle. And now I get to, it feels so powerful to be able to have a random idea at 2 in the morning and be like, I have feelings and be able to make like a record ready vocal super easy in my living room. Like it feels I'm really grateful for that work that I put in.
yeah, I read that it was you were a singer. You've always been a singer, but
Yeah, yeah.
then you were like, I want to figure out how to like record myself and find my own voice.
Mm-hmm.
And then that engineering kind of came with that.
Mm-hmm.
And then the vocal producing, how did that kind of grow out of the engineering?
The
Or was
vocal,
it like
yeah.
simultaneous? Like did it happen at the same time?
It was after because engineering came first and it was something that was really stressed to learn. Like I initially had no interest in learning it because it's not that I didn't have an interest in it. Let me correct myself. It's that I thought that it was too hard. I was just like, oh, all of the people that are doing this, first of all, it's a very male dominated field. All the men that I'd seen do this, like, made it seem like this elusive thing that was so complicated and like you had to have been doing it for years to even get into the major. So, like, the engineering major at Berkeley, for example, like you had to apply for. You couldn't just say, I want to do that. You had to like get accepted into it. And everyone else in the program, first of all, men, there were like two or three other women with me in the program. And they're like, oh, I've been doing this for years. I'm like, I don't know anything, but I want to learn it. So that was a whole thing. But then once I started learning and engineering, I really loved it because I've always really loved math. My mom was a calculus teacher. She's retired now, but my mom was a calculus teacher. My grandpa was a math teacher. And so I've always really loved math. And so engineering to me was really cool because it paired both sides of the brain. I could like make what was
Mm,
in my head musically, like through the engineering side and translate that. That was
right.
really cool. But yeah, vocal production came later because I didn't know that vocal production existed. In one of my classes, a teacher did a presentation on a vocal producer, and I was like, oh my gosh, this weird skill set that I have, like this weird culmination of things of my background in singing for so long, having to retrain my voice, having to go through vocal therapy, all these kind of things, my performance background, plus my engineering background, then made this weird hybrid like opportunity for me to vocal produce. And I was like, wow, I feel perfectly suited for this. And then I went super heavy into vocal production.
And having that as like part of the skill set
Mm-hmm.
probably ups your stock as an engineer, because you could, if it comes down to it, like, all right, I can engineer this, but I could also vocal produce you through this record as well.
Well, so it's two separate careers, right? Like it's two separate things. So whenever I'm vocal producing, I'm always engineering. But
I noticed that. Yeah,
yeah. So
I looked up.
yeah, because
Yeah.
it's such a piece of my vocal production. So like not all vocal producers engineer, not all but I do. It's a part of my creativity. But like if I also always think it's really important to wear the hat that you're brought in the room to wear. So, like, if I'm brought in the room to just engineer, there are clients that I work with that I'm just their engineer. I'm not going to be putting my opinion all over that because I'm
Mm.
brought in there to be engineering and I'm a pair of hands and I am a brain in that way. But when I'm vocal producing, I'm there as the engineer and the vocal producer. And that's when my opinion, like, that's when I'm coaching, that's when I'm doing all these things. So it's like it's the vocal production helps me as an engineer immensely, but they're separate things. I think that more so where the crossover happens is in tuning vocals. And that's how I really built my career, especially in the beginning, because I tune as a singer, not just like an engineer. And I was able to make vocals sing. So, like that Camila Cabello record, like the Cardi stuff, like all this stuff is because my touch with Melodyne and being able to make things not just, oh, hey, they're on the grid. It's like, oh, how do we make them sing? Let's make the vibrato at the end here go up a few cents. Let's make it like feel like a performance, you know?
I
So,
really, really like that, because it's that is those are those details.
yeah, exactly. The
Those are
details.
the
Hmm.
details that kind of separate, kind of people that are out here doing it from like the
Hmm.
elite.
Yeah.
And I think that, for one, I used to be a hip hop producer,
Okay,
so
sick.
I fully understand the the fact that recording engineers,
Yeah.
especially, are like the unsung heroes.
100%. 100%.
They're the backbone.
Hmm.
They're the backbone of the whole production, you know. And I was doing
Absolutely.
some, I was a lot of times I would produce the beats,
Yeah.
and then I would end up recording it, and then I'd end up mixing it, and then end up mastering it,
Okay,
because it's just
okay. So
like,
you're, yeah.
just getting it out
Yeah.
the mud, just, like,
Yeah.
just no label, independent, just trying to like put shit
Totally.
out, SoundCloud, whatever.
Yeah.
Um, but like, y'all are definitely just, you don't get enough shine. You know what I mean? And like, I always thought for the longest time that like recording engineers got like points on records, and like mixing engineers and
So,
mastering engineers got points on records, and I'm like, and then I found out that they didn't, and I'm like, that is weird.
it's weird and it's starting to change. I mean, it's one of those things where like once you get the clout, like mix engineers are starting to I know recording engineers even from back in the day that have gotten points, but like it's very much like because of the artist. Like the artist was like, "Oh no, like I want to be equitable. I want to be doing this." It's
Mm.
not something that's normal at all. Oh my goodness. And so it's crazy because the engineer is such an integral part of the sound and they're not being able to participate in that. Um yeah. Yeah. It's
And
interesting.
I don't think that's correct,
Me neither.
per
But,
se. You
you
know what
know,
I mean? Like,
yeah, I agree.
so you've been in some rooms.
Oh, yeah.
You've been in some rooms.
Hmm.
Was it like, boom, I'm out of Berkeley and I'm like in these rooms? Or
Kind of.
was there a progression, or how'd that kind of
It
happen?
kind of was like we went out of Berkeley, but that's because I did a lot of prep work. So for my last year and a half of school, I worked to become someone who could be really valuable to the person I wanted to mentor me. So when they did that presentation on a vocal producer in my class, it was this really well-known vocal producer. I was like, that's what I want to do, and that's who I want to work for. So then I spent the next year and a half researching this guy, interviewing people he had worked with before, figuring out what he hired out for, figuring out like what his skill set was and like what could be useful to his team. Um, and studying that and working really hard on that. So like I got a job in the tech shop because he didn't do any kind of tech thing. So I could like repair his gear if need be. I could build microphones, do that. I got really into Melodyne because I found out that he had to hire out for tuning and he didn't have someone to do that in house and he didn't do that. So I was like, I could be an asset there. Um, And then I interviewed people he had worked with on his workflow so I could practice that and be fast before I had the opportunity, hoping that I would have the opportunity to be able to do that. So it was a year and a half of prep. And then I had interviewed somebody who said that he was in Atlanta working on, not in Atlanta, I'm fast forwarding, in LA working on Anti with Rihanna. And I was like, bet I'm going to move to LA after Berkeley. Cool. And so I had just made it very, very known that that's who I wanted to work with. And finally, a connection happened and I was connected with him. But that didn't that didn't come to fruition like me meeting him or anything for months. Like it was very much like I had to keep towing that line of persistence versus annoyance. So I flew out here. I had a mattress on the floor, and I got a part-time job working AV at hotels because even though I didn't have the position with him yet, I knew that it would allow me to be part-time enough to support myself, not put the financial burden on the music just yet, but be able so I could support myself, but then also be super available for him because of the way that the hours worked there. And yeah, and I just kept following through, and he finally agreed to meet with me one day, and then I graduated Berkeley officially August 2015. I moved out here 5 days later, and then mid-October is when he finally agreed to meet with me, and I started working with him. And then that month, I was at Rihanna's house, so it was like it's very, very, very quick, right? Like, and then I moved to Atlanta in January 2016 because he was like, if you want to keep working with me, move to Atlanta. And I was like, bet. So I moved cross country again. And then, yeah, I was in Atlanta for 5 years and now I came back to LA.
Yeah, and I think like for people out there that are like trying to be an engineer or trying to even get into the music industry,
Mm-hmm.
one big thing they could take from that is the fact that you were like consistently prepping for the
Mm-hmm.
moment.
Because that's the thing. People want the moment, but it's like people, yes, it looks like it was overnight, but that's the whole thing about like overnight success too. If I hadn't done that year and a half of prep work, of making sure, doing my research, doing my due diligence to like make sure that like I could be someone that could be valuable in these situations instead of just saying, can I have your time? Can I have all these things? It's like, no, what am I adding to it? And I think that that's really important, especially when you're starting out, because if you want a mentor and you want to have these situations, it's like, okay, what is unique to you that you could bring to the table to help out, even if it's like organizing or like, any little things. But yeah.
You put in the work,
Mm-hmm.
you put in the time.
Mm-hmm.
So like when something lucky happened,
Yeah.
the preparation met the opportunity.
That's exactly. Luck is in preparation meets opportunity. That's my favorite saying. Mm-hmm.
I love it. And
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just like people when that moment does happen and they're not ready and they
Mm-hmm.
fucking fumble
Mm-hmm.
the bag,
Mm-hmm.
they didn't have that preparation. They had the
Yeah.
opportunity.
Yeah.
They had the fucking opportunity, but they didn't have the
Mm-hmm.
preparation.
Yeah.
But in order for you to prepare,
Mm-hmm.
there had to have been a belief.
Mm-hmm.
There had
That's
to have
true.
been a belief that it was going to happen inevitably. Where did that
Yeah.
come from? How did you cultivate that belief?
That's something that I has come up not too much, honestly, and it's funny to think about, and it's a very good point. I feel like I've always been really audacious, and I don't know if that comes from my family or my grandparents. Like, I'm really lucky in that I never had the thing of like, oh, you're going to do music, man. Like, it was always like, yes, we know you're going to succeed. We don't know what you're going to do. We know you're going to, like, I've no, it's never, I don't know. I'm a little audacious in that way that I really truly to my core believe that I can do anything I set my mind to. And it's not that I'm just like, oh, all these things are gonna happen. It's like, no, I know that if I work towards something, I know how to break it down. And I had my 10-year plan. I would write out where I want to be in 10 years, like what my life is going to be like, the accolades, like whatever. And then it's like, okay, but you have to then break that down. So what does that mean for 5 years? What does that mean for 3, 2, 1? And it's like, because everything is small steps. It's that overnight success again. It's not that. It's the pasitos. It's the little steps that add up to these things. So I don't know. I guess I've always been a little just why not? But I'm entering a new season of that right now because I'm building something completely new again, and I am in that thing of there's no proof of concept yet, but I know that it will be successful, and I'm just building the infrastructure for it as if it is successful already. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, what's what's weird is you and I have been following each other for like 2 years now,
Yeah, yeah.
and what I've noticed kind of race like lately,
Yeah.
recently,
Hmm.
is that you and I'm doing the same thing.
Yeah.
You are like kicking off that personal brand again. You're putting music out. You're like you're starting to like
Hmm.
think about this instead of everybody else. Yeah, and I did the same shit. I've done that multiple times where I'm like doing shit for everybody else. Then
Yep.
I kind of get on to like doing my shit, and then now I'm trying to just do it both.
Yep. And I think that my song Bent, because I feel like a lot of my life, I was a version of myself that was expected of me or that was useful to others. And my song Bent is about really breaking out of that. And because I've been a historic people pleaser, oh my gosh. And, breaking out of that. And there's a line at the end of Bent that says, I've been waiting patiently to be my priority. And I really, truly feel like this is my season now of going to get everything that I've worked for and that I know I can do. But it comes with that internal belief of admitting to yourself what you want to, and that not being the responsible thing or like whatever. It's like I really had to do a lot of self work to be like, oh, I didn't not want this thing. I was scared. I
Yeah,
wanted to be responsible and I thought this was the way. But it's like we have this life to live, and why not? It's like I really am
yeah,
in that why not me phase right now,
hell
you
yeah.
know?
I've I know a lot of people that struggle with that. I
Hmm.
myself struggle with that.
Yeah.
It's like, well, why can't I? Like, why
Hmm.
can't I be a director, do
Yeah.
movies?
Totally.
Why can't I have a media company and
Hmm.
put out a bunch of cool shit that I like
Yep.
around the
Exactly.
culture of creativity? Like, that's what I envision myself. But it's just like, you don't even know sometimes that you're limiting yourself.
Yep. Because it's all the subconscious things. And I think that also perfectionism and anxiety is such a thief of joy. And I've really struggled with that. Like, oh, I can't put something out because it's not perfect, blah, blah, blah.
Mm,
But then you end up with all this stuff that just ends and dies on a hard drive. And I'm never doing that again. It is so stupid because everyone that you see out there that's successful had to start somewhere. But the piece where people give up is when it's like it's that middle beginning piece where it's like it's the consistency. You have to continue to show up for yourself week after week, day after day to try and build this thing because you're going to learn from releasing. So like I started vlogging like at the beginning of this year because I know I'm building this new business right now and I want to have like a online
documentation.
diary of documentation of
Yeah.
that because I did this 10 years ago and I built this and I wish that I would have had that. So I'm like, I'm going to build something new now. Let me document this. But it has been the best exercise of allowing myself to be fully seen that I've ever done because like I'm showing up on the internet, not polished in my bonnet, okay? In my bonnet, crashing out, just like on the internet now.
That shit you posted the other night with the bonnet and the homies like, yo, you good? Like that shit was fucking funny.
But like I'm putting stuff like that. So normally that would just live in my close friends. And now I'm putting stuff like that. That's just most of my vlog. And it's like, no. And I think that's also important for people to see because we show the highlight reel and you see the accolades, you see all these things. But like most of the time, I look like a crazy person. I'm just trying to build shit. Like that's most of the time I'm behind. Like, that's the life. And then you get to do these things. It's like, oh, you do these TV things or whatever. But yeah, and I think it's really important to show that. And I think that's interesting. But the vlogging has helped me so much get over being seen because then it also helps my posting anxiety. I'm like, oh, now it's so
Mm,
easy. I post every day now. And
mm.
I have two accounts that I post every day on. And I'm like, oh, it's getting over that fear of being seen. And it's like, yeah, okay, not everyone's gonna like you, but you don't need everyone to like you. You just need
Come
like,
on.
you know what I mean? You really just
Yeah.
need like 1,000 people to like super fuck with you, and you could be super successful, like
Fuck
as an
that.
independent artist. Like, so it's just, yeah.
I fucking it's we're in a similar season, you and I kind of look
Season,
at it. I kind of it's this season.
season. Good, yes.
If I just put my finger here, will it make it? Am I better now?
No, it's
I mean
great.
that.
Okay, vibrato.
See that little bit of yeah. I'm in the same. I'm doing the same thing.
Hmm.
I feel you there. I really, really, truly understand what you're talking about because my the big theme for me right now, and recently, it's just been like, yo, like I'm not. I'm gonna die someday. Like life is finite.
100%.
So it's like I'm gonna put this shit out. All right. And if people are gonna talk
Yep.
shit, it's like, dude, when I'm
But that's just
80
not your
on
people,
my
too.
deathbed, yeah, when I'm 80 on my deathbed, I'm not gonna think about that one fool that was talking shit about the gap in my teeth.
Right.
You feel
Exactly.
me? Like
100%.
I just don't fucking care anymore
100%.
about that shit. And I'm just like, I just want to do what I want to do. I want to be me, and I
Hmm.
getting rid of that posting anxiety of
Hmm.
like how is this going to be interpreted? How is this going to, well, if
Yes.
it comes from here,
Yes.
right? If it
Hmm.
comes from here and if it's coming from a real genuine place,
Yeah. No
then I know
importa.
that I at least know that my intentions are good.
Hmm.
I'm trying
Yep.
to help out. I'm either trying to
100%.
entertain or help out.
Hmm.
That's it.
Yep.
Me and my boy have this new motto, and it's just like, just make shit cooler. Make the world a little bit cooler of a place to be in because shit's
Hmm.
been getting stupid
It's
lately.
scary. That's why I'm trying to move to Spain.
Spain, dude. I know a guy that
Ah,
fucking loves Spain. He loves
I
Sevilla. He loves Sevilla
Oh, I love
specifically.
Sevilla too. That's where my leading lady, the Latin Grammys when I got the leading lady award, it was in
Yeah.
Sevilla.
Yeah, I know.
Beautiful.
I hear it's fucking
It's
gorgeous.
stunning.
He's got that like cathedral tattooed on his arm.
God. Barcelona has just such a place in my heart. And so that's like my motivation to build all the stuff that I'm building right now because I want to be able to live wherever I want to and not have to be in a specific place and have my business only be is like in service. Like I want to be able to build this ecosystem around my creativity. And so that's yeah, because I just want to go like and frolic and I'm just a better version of myself. I
Frolic.
swear.
The Spain
Frolic.
frolic.
It's a different
Yeah.
kind.
Dude, I traveled recently for the first time, and it's just it changes you.
Oh, it changes your brain 100%.
You're changed, you know?
It's the best. It's the best.
You're just so locked in. You're like so present and mindful, and you're observing, and like you're using the currency, you're using the public transportation, you're
Hmm.
trying your best to speak the language.
Yeah.
You're experiencing another culture, and
Hmm.
then something just it just changes you. It opens up your possibilities of reality. You know what I
100%.
mean? It's beautiful.
It is. Yeah. And then my Spanish gets so much better when I'm there too, because I'm a No Sabo kid. Like I'm Puerto Rican, but I'm half Puerto Rican. So my mom doesn't
Uh,
speak Spanish. And so it's been like a journey as an adult for me to learn. And I don't speak enough here. And going to Spain, I like my Spanish gets so much better so quickly. And it's really important for me to get fluent. I've been trying for so long. So
I think the
yeah,
only way to do it is to like be around people that are always speaking it, and then you
exactly.
speak it. And I learned like, you know, mi español es muy mal,
Yeah.
but I could I could ask you like, how's your mama? How's your brother? How
Yeah,
many
yeah,
kids you
yeah.
got? Where do you live? That kind
Yeah.
of
Puedes
basic
comunicar,
shit.
sí.
And I call it cocinero español
Okay.
because I learned it in the kitchen
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That's
with
great.
yeah. So
Yeah. But that's
uh,
like from being immersed in it and it's from being around it. Yeah.
that's how I learned. I never learned just like reciting
I
and
know.
remembering and that kind of shit. I had to actually like do it. I
Yep.
actually had to speak Spanish with people.
Same. My new thing now. So, because when I was in Spain, I would go out by myself all the time, and you make friends that only speak Spanish. They don't speak English, which is really important because, like, I have friends here that speak Spanish, but they also speak English. So we always revert. It's very easy to be like, oh, I don't know
Yeah.
how to say this thing. And then you revert. But there, it's like, I'm forced to. And so then we have WhatsApp and we're always sending back and forth. So now I'm starting to speak Spanish every day again, which is
Mm.
really important for my brain.
Yeah.
So,
It's
yeah.
fucking I don't know. I think it opens up another level of like
Hmm.
intellect. Like when I
Yeah.
see people that are like bilingual or multilingual,
Oh my
I'm
God,
like
polyglots are crazy to me. I
I
think it's
envy
so
them.
cool because you can connect with so many people like on this earth.
Yeah.
I think that's so cool.
It's different. It's different like speaking the language or like
100%.
saying shit into an app and being
Oh yeah,
like,
way different. Way
you
different.
know.
But even, oh my gosh, I was in Italy in November November or December, I forget. I was in Italy and this guy, Joe, who we've been friends online for a while, and he was like, I went to dinner with him, but he doesn't speak any English and I don't speak any Italian. And so the whole dinner, we just were going back and forth on the app. But it was really cool because we still connected, like our energies really connected. And like, it's
Yeah.
like, oh, that's my friend. But we don't
Yeah.
speak a word
Right.
of the same
Yeah.
language, you know?
Well, modern
But
technology it enables us to do that. But how
yeah,
sick would it be if you could speak Italian
so cool.
to
I want to speak
Joe? It
everything.
would be awesome. But like Italian, there's so many similarities
The
to
Spanish.
Spanish, I've
Yeah.
noticed.
But he speaks like this dialect. I forget what it's called, but it's not even like normal Italian because I was showing phrases that he sent me to my Italian speaker friends. They're like, "Oh no, that's this. It's like a different. It's like Catalan in Spain. It's like there's
Oh,
different
the like
different
how it
dialects.
sounds. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
different dialects. So it's
yeah.
like,
The guy that I around a lot who he speaks Spain
uh-huh.
Spanish,
Yeah.
so he has that like little bit of lisp
Hmm.
kind of to it when he speaks. And
Yeah.
I was like, I'll pick that up. And it's
Yeah.
like very specific to like even like the northern part and the southern part of Spain have different
It's
dialects
so
too.
cool. I love it. I have so many WhatsApp chats right now, and I'm just like, and I struggle, and then I help them with their English, and I'm like, yeah, this fun.
It's the shit. I really love it. And I mean, fucking, I just love Latin culture in
Yeah,
general, and
same.
fucking always have. And Latin food is my fucking favorite
Hey,
food. You know
it's
what I mean?
important.
It's the fucking best,
Hmm.
bar none.
Hmm. Hmm.
So going back to these big rooms, when you get in these big rooms, or like
Hmm.
say the first, you're like fucking, you're at Rihanna's crib.
Hmm.
How do you compose yourself and handle yourself in these types of situations where you're like, I'm not just with like an artist.
Yeah,
I'm with a fucking superstar, mega
yeah.
star.
I definitely. It's not something that ever gets. I don't even know. People ask me this a lot, and I don't really know how to answer because it's like she was so nice. Like I showed her a microphone I was building, and she was like, "Oh shit, cool!" Like it's very like it's normal, like, but it's not. Like you're just inside. You're like, "What the fuck is happening right now?" But it's normal. I had to learn how to exist better in those studio environments, not like in the personal environments, in the studio environments as an engineer where I was calmer because I'm very bubbly, like
Yeah.
blah blah blah, and but I'm bubbly for a purpose. Like I'm managing the energies in the room and making sure everyone feels good, and like I'm very like that. Um, and so I had to learn like how to like when I was just in the engineering role and not in the vocal production role, my personality should not be as in the room, you know? So it's like I had to like learn things like that, how to be calm and like how to problem solve without people knowing that there's a problem and those kind of things. But
Mm.
yeah, I mean, meeting these people, it's crazy. Like Jessie J's Rose album was the first album that I was the engineer on after school, which was 2016. So I'm fresh out of school because I graduated,
Fresh.
end of 2015.
Yeah.
So, and I had just moved to LA with the only CD I had in my car was her Alive album. Like I was such a huge fan of hers. And then to be engineering her whole album and be at her game nights and like, you know, and I like was a wild thing. Um, but you just start to realize that it's just people, you know?
Exactly.
They cool.
Exactly. My wife is like, I've met a lot of people
Hmm.
myself, and my wife has like never actually met like famous people.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, she's always like, whoa, like that's crazy. What's it like? And I'm like, it's just, they're
Yeah.
just like you.
100%.
They like cats and
Yep.
food, and they're just people
Hmm.
that have talents that are recognized widely,
100%. Hmm.
and once you realize that, then the vibe changes. The vibe's
Hmm.
different. It's like
100%.
once you're like out here like snapping, so you're like, hey, come here, snapping
It's so corny.
selfies, and it's just corny and weird, and it just the vibe the
It's so
vibe
different.
changes, and it's like
Yeah.
all of a sudden they're you're not here. They're looking at you like you're just like
Yes.
another person fanboying, and
Yeah.
it's
You
weird,
can't do that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, you can't do that. You can't like the yeah.
Yeah, and so being an engineer, which is like such a crucial piece of that, I'm sure like
Hmm.
you kind of just like lock in, right? You're just like
Yeah.
technical, matter of fact,
Well, it's just like you're there to
like
do a job. It's like it's very yeah. Like it's just so normal. Like even I think last year or the year before, I met Ludacris randomly, but like just I was at a studio and like that's it's weird when you meet the people that like you were really into as a like growing up
yeah,
too.
love Luda.
Oh,
Yeah,
100%. Me too.
yeah,
And so it was so funny because he was just like offering me healthy snacks like in the studio. And you know what I mean? Like it was so normal that,
hell
and
yeah.
he's like, "Oh, it's so sick. You're an engineer. My daughter's getting into that. Like, that's amazing. Like, women in STEM and like all these things." And that's the conversation I had with Ludacris. And he's like, "Oh, this cacao is good for your brain." I'm like, "Yeah, it's sick, sick, Ludacris." Or like when I worked with Young Money's team for the first time, and it was like an over all nighter, and it was my first time working with their team. And I brought healthy snacks, and so I had a bowl of baby carrots next to me and some blueberries. And they walk, when we walk in, he's like, "Yo, who brought the baby carrots?" I was like, "Me." And he's like, "Yo, I fuck with you." Like tapped me up, and I was just like, "Yeah, okay, sick." It's
He's
so
like, I fuck
normal.
with baby carrots, and I fuck with you now, because you fuck with baby
Yeah,
carrots.
fuck with that. I was like, "Yeah, okay, sick, sick."
I
So
love it. Yeah, no,
yeah,
it's just it's a big vibe thing.
mm-hmm,
You know,
100%.
you naturally, off rip when I met you at Anwar's crib,
Yeah, yeah.
you just naturally have a vibe that
Thank you,
people like. You know,
thank you. That's nice.
it's a warmth.
Thank you.
You
I
know what I mean?
appreciate that. I
And
really appreciate that.
that's essential. It's essential for, I mean, life, but it's
Yeah,
essential, especially to be an engineer,
100%. And
because
I think, yeah.
they're in there just like not they're in the booth and they're just not
Mhm.
hitting it like they want to hit it, and you're just like, it's cool.
The vibe is so
Let's
much. And
take it again.
yeah, exactly. And it's like you're their partner. It's not like that's the other thing in vocal production. It's like that's how you get good vocals is that trust, that creating safety to do things like you're not like, "Oh, okay, let me push my comfort zone a little bit. Maybe I can hit this note or like whatever. Let me try something new." That magic exists when you feel safe. And I think that they overestimate how important the technical skills and underestimate how important the interpersonal relation like skills are and the emotional intelligence, because I really think that they're here. Like that's you're having a good vibe, good personality, being able to deal with people well, good emotional intelligence is so much of your career, just like the technical skills are. Mm.
It's it's crucial.
Crucial.
It's crucial.
Yeah.
It's like I feel like that empathetic side of me.
Hmm.
It's one of my favorite features
Hmm.
that I have, but
Yeah.
it's also one of my most frustrating features as well,
Mm.
because it's just like I take the whole burden
Yeah. Oh,
from
a
people.
100%. It's exhausting. It
It's
is
like,
exhausting. That's why people think that I'm really extroverted, but I'm not. I'm super introverted. And because of what you just said. It's like you're making sure that the energy is so good and like it's a lot. It's a lot. And then it's like,
when you feel the room getting snagged, you're almost
dude,
like it's my
oh my God,
responsibility.
exactly.
It's my responsibility to unsnag
Mm-hmm.
the vibe
Mm-hmm.
and keep shit
Yep.
flowing out here.
100%. Dude, I just did so I have a podcast that's gonna come out that's it's not released yet that we're doing it like or like whatever, but we shot the first 8 episodes and we did
Shit.
yeah, it was just super sick. And it's like at the studio and like it's my show. And I got to bring on the co-host and it's like really cool. But I was so excited about it. But because I was so like just making sure the vibe was good the whole time, I am still recovering from that. I still don't feel like my nervous system has leveled out yet. And that was almost 2 weeks ago now.
Oh shit. Yeah.
And I
Did you record all
yeah,
the episodes in like a day or like a couple
for a
days?
day, for a day for 2 days.
Shit, girl.
Yeah, and it
That's
was
a
amazing.
full ass day.
And it was amazing. Like, and it was with my favorite people and all these things, but it's like, oh, this is my show. I need to make sure that the vibe is good, like the topics, like all these things. And yeah, it's just it's a lot. It's a lot to be like very so on for that long. And then I'm like, okay, time to watch NCIS and eat chocolate covered pretzels because that's how we need
Yeah,
to
yeah,
recover.
no, for real, for real. W- I tell my wife this all the time because like sometimes she doesn't understand. Like she's like, I don't get it. Like you're so great with people and around people, and I'm just like, yo, when I'm out and when
Yeah,
I'm like around people, like I'm on.
yeah,
If I were like at 50%, people would be
hmm
like, are you good?
100%.
Are you okay?
Yeah,
I hate that shit. I don't want
yeah,
anybody to be like, hey bud, is everything all right?
yeah,
You
yeah,
seem off. I'm just on.
yeah,
And so it just takes a lot of energy. So
yeah.
sometimes it's just like I almost got to prep for it. Sometimes I'm like, all right,
Oh,
I got this shit
one
coming up this
hundred
weekend,
percent.
and I gotta like
Mm-hmm.
I gotta get in there. I gotta get in my headspace
Yeah,
and get there
totally.
before I get there. You
A
know?
100%. And then I'm very selectively social because I have friends that I don't have to do that with that I'm really grateful to have
Yeah,
now
same.
where I can just be, yeah, I don't have to be on, I don't have to, whatever. But then there's other people that like, you do a bit more and like if I'm going somewhere and it's like friends that I really know, but then also a bunch of new people, I have to prep for that because I'm
Yeah,
like, all right, I have to be Simone, like that's a lot. It's a lot
yeah,
of work.
it is. And then you come home, and for me, it's chill with my wife,
Hmm.
watch reality TV. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a little 90 Day Fiance. Maybe a
Ooh,
little
yes.
yeah, I love me some cooking reality competition shows. Anything
Oh,
with Gordon Ramsay, put that shit on.
okay. Love that.
Unplug, just power
100%.
down.
Yep.
Um so you when you're being a vocal producer,
Hmm.
and I'm a director, so
Right.
I kind of, when it comes to giving notes,
Hmm.
can be a challenge.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just like, I'm looking for the word. I'm digging for the word, that
Hmm.
perfect note that's going to be like, here's how we're going to achieve this
Yeah.
scene. What's that like for you when you're giving your talent notes, trying to navigate this like giving the note but being soft, so to speak, in your
Uh-huh.
approach?
So, I mean, that's the whole art of vocal production, I believe, is being able to communicate the same thing in so many different ways so that you have your tool belt full of how to communicate with your artist. So I've worked really hard to get to the point where I feel like I can really communicate with any artist, like anyone that's put in my booth, I can effectively communicate what I need from them because I'm either going to communicate that in singing it, in words, in body movement, combinations of them, and that comes from vocal producing people who aren't singers, me knowing how my voice feels in my body and like how what helps me as a singer, vocal producing for so long, but it's really people always ask me like how do I start vocal producing, but it's that piece that you just said, it's building that tool belt of communication of how do I communicate the same thing so many different ways, and the delivery is super super important too because I'm very much of the school of vocal production that's yes and positive because I don't really believe that we make good things when we are being berated, but there's different schools of thought
Hell
around
no.
that. Yeah,
Yeah, no,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I don't subscribe to that.
yeah. And
Nah, I
so
don't respond to
I
that.
exactly because it's like people are like I had a vocal producer try to get me crying in a booth once and I was, and the vocal sounds ass because then you get stuffy and then let's just like you can't place anything, like you lose control, but people think that they want that. It's like no, but how do we manipulate our mouth shape, our voice, our you manipulate it to make it so that that sounds emotional, right? But it's not that you actually are crying. Anyway, but yeah, I also move pretty quickly when I'm vocal producing because I don't want to give the artist time to get in their head. So I'll give very quick, succinct notes that are very pointed. And I know what I'm getting and I know what I'm grabbing and I'm punching it. I'm like, oh, okay. I always have a notepad next to me that has the lyrics double spaced so I could be making notes on the takes that I like above them. So like I'll in my mouse hand, I'll keep a pencil and I'm always like making notes. So like I'm keeping this. mental list of what the comp is going to become.
Uh,
Um, but yeah, that piece of it is
mm.
that's everything.
That's so
Yeah.
dope. It's just so, it's crazy how scientific some creative shit like that can be.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's
That's true.
fucking, that's science.
Yeah.
But that's,
Science.
but it's like the most
Yeah.
creative shit you're dealt.
Hmm.
We're fucking singing here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
Totally.
you're breaking it down like the fact that you have like it's double spaced with the lyrics, you're giving notes.
Yeah.
That's like next level. That's like
Yeah.
really dissecting this shit down. Do
Thanks.
you I noticed, if I remember seeing some videos, you do like a lot of punch ins and stuff,
Hmm.
right?
Uh-huh.
Is there like a, and this is just kind of my own curiosity,
Yeah.
is there a benefit to punching everything in as opposed to like singing the whole thing out? Is it, would you ever recommend somebody just sing the whole thing out?
It all just depends. So like I worked on a record recently with Sophia Carson and Andrea Bocelli, and it was for a Christmas record. And that it the feeling of the record was so live, like it wasn't done to a click. It was a live orchestra and it was beautiful. And so that she sang down multiple times. I took notes because it was important for us to keep that feeling. Most of the time, though, I'm doing sections at a time. So it's like verse, hook, like whatever. It's the sections that we're doing at a time. Um, when I'm doing my music, I will go minuscule because my vocal producer brain is so tied into my artist brain now. So I record all my music live on Twitch now. I record all my vocals and I know what I'm looking for so heavy that I'm kind of like live comping. I'll be like, oh, great. Like, I love this, but this word needs to be end like this. And so, like, I'm singing and punching at the same time, punching in and out. But the cat is so cute. Oh my gosh. Kitten.
Well,
So
now,
cute.
okay, look, now
Now
it's
I have
my
to show her. Yeah.
well, now it's my calico.
Oh,
This is
hi, babe.
this is my calico. This is Mac.
Hi, man.
Oh my god, look at that motor.
What a sweet.
That is therapy right there. That's like
That is.
therapeutic. I guess you can hang out. Fuck it.
What a sweetie. Oh my goodness. I
I'm
lost
about.
my train of thought because kitten.
I'm sorry,
No,
Mac.
no,
You
don't
were.
be sorry. It's my ADHD. It's good. I'm a cat.
She's this cat is like, I don't know. She's the shit. She's seriously so awesome. Like she comes up onto my lap and purrs, and it's just like kind of just decompresses,
Dude,
de-stresses.
I need an animal.
Yeah,
I need a
it's
pet.
it's the shit. It's the shit.
It's the
But
shit.
yeah, we were kind of just breaking down process. We're breaking down the
Oh yeah.
process, and I had a kind of a question like while you were talking. It's just like you're doing, you're recording, but you got people watching.
Mm-hmm. Oh, like
How,
when I'm
how
vocal producing?
yeah.
Yeah.
How does that affect the process? Did it
Uh,
like kind of like amp you up a little bit more and like, yo, I'm out here like getting after it in front of people, or is it just like you don't even think about them? They're just like kind of in the background
oh wait, are you talking about when
when
I'm
you're recording your stuff.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So it's interesting because it's something that I've had to get used to, just like I had to get used to recording myself. Because I used to not be able to record myself well, even having all these skills, like because my my perfectionist brain was way too on, and my comp would look like a barcode because I was like, oh, nothing is ever,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It was like I
yeah.
was too much in that analytical brain. So then I had to learn, okay, I don't even like to hear myself in my headphones when I'm recording, like because then
Oh
I
no
go
shit. You
into
go no headphones
I have one
or one
headphone that
off.
just has the music and then one off so I can hear myself in the room. Because
Yeah.
if I'm hearing myself back, I start to go into too much a vocal producer brain and I go too critical. And so like I need to be able to just emote and then I can know like what I'm getting. And that's what works for me. So sometimes I'm cool with hearing myself a bit, but not a lot of the times I'm cool with hearing myself a bit, but I don't want to hear myself like super loud. I'm never going to have both headphones on. I want to know what's going on in the room with my voice.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but yeah, so the first few times that I was recording vocals online were interesting. So they're up. So my song Up that I have out in English, I was recording the Spanish version of it and I have those VODs from the Twitch up on YouTube because I'm putting all the VODs up now. And it's interesting to look back at because I can see how nervous I was and how it was affecting my performance. But it's just
Mm.
like anything. It's like exercising. Like I had to just really get used to it and keep putting my reps in. And like the other night I got raided by this K-pop star who was amazing. He raided my room with like over 200 people. So we went from like 20 people watching me cut my
I saw
vocals.
that.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Crazy cool. So
That's fucking
nice.
tight.
It was
That's
so
fucking
cool.
tight.
It was so cool because you know, like when you build your career in one thing, and it's like, okay, yes, I'm well known as a vocal producer, whatever. This is like something I'm starting from like a baby seedling, right? So like I'm growing this from scratch, and to have something like that happen for someone I don't even know, like that was
So gratifying.
so gratifying. Like it was so cool. But that took me back, I said, because I got so comfortable with my Twitch community and with being online and recording vocals and being okay, like. I have sound effects for like when I mess up, like I'll do the Law and Order, boom, boom, and
Chung
like so,
chung.
yeah. Like I'm like okay, but people want to see that transparency, and it's again kind of just going back to that exercise of being seen. Like, yeah, I'm gonna tune my vocals on stream. Yeah, sure, you'll see what it sounded like. You'll hear me not sound great. You'll hear me sound great. Like, but it's all a part of me. Um, but yeah, it's been something to get used to.
That's
Um,
an interesting concept. Like you're in here like working through it, figuring
mhm.
it out,
Yep.
putting it down in front of an audience.
Mhm.
So it kind of changes the game a little bit.
It does. And I think that I also definitely started on hard mode because I started all the,
100%.
because I did it with my Spanish EP where I'm not a native Spanish speaker. So I said, not only let me do this all online for the first time, but let me do that in a language that I'm not native to. Stupid, but it's okay. It's been amazing. And it
I
was
think
so beautiful.
it's awesome. It's awesome. There's nothing fucking stupid about it. It's fucking badass.
It's really
Uh,
cool, but
I
it
love
be,
it.
it became so cool because my community, when I'm instead of me just recording, right, and me being in my own little bubble, I'm sending it out to people afterwards and be like, "Oh, did I pronounce this right?" There's native Spanish speakers in the chat who come in and they're like, "Oh, you need more here or there. The emphasis on that syllable is wrong." And they'll send me voice notes on our Discord. And it's like they're helping me create this thing. Like we're making this together. And then I love that. I think that's so
That's
cool
so sick. I
to
love
like
that.
have the music made by the community. Like then people feel like they have ownership in it too.
I
And I
didn't
think
even
that's sick.
fucking think about that aspect.
Hmm. That's why I'm doing it.
The communal creative
Yep.
consciousness.
Yep. Exactly.
It's fucking beauty. I
It
love that
is.
shit.
Because
Yeah.
then it's like it takes being as also an independent artist or just an artist to a different level. And if you're a fan of an artist and you're like, oh my gosh, this record came out, I was there the whole time it was being made, like that's cool to me. Like, so
So fucking cool.
yeah.
I love it.
Thanks.
It's so like while you're doing that, it's like I kind of akin it to like when I'm watching a movie
Hmm.
and like sometimes like being in film production and stuff, it like
Yeah.
kind of like it could kind of ruin it sometimes. Like it's
Okay.
like the secret sauce.
Oh,
You kind of
interesting.
know what's up, and you're watching the movie, and you're like, oh man, they did that like shit, or this is lit like shit,
Oh,
or that line of dialogue was shit, and you kind of like have a hard
okay.
time. Sometimes like I just have to tell myself before I watch a movie, like just watch it,
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
watch the
Yeah, yeah.
movie. So like
Hmm.
between like your kind of like your vocal producing, your engineer mind, and your
Yeah.
artist mind,
Yeah.
these minds that all converge together into one brain. It's
Yeah.
just like I'm sure that's tough sometimes
Um, it's not it
or extremely
okay.
helpful.
It's really honestly now it's helpful. It used to be tough before I got over myself, to be honest with you. Like I
Yeah.
had to get over because my perfectionism, it's stupid. No, nothing's perfect. So it's like I had to just get out of that. And it's like if I believe that it's good in the moment, amazing. So
I got one for you. I heard this
hmm,
recently. It was stop striving for perfection because it's impossible. Just
hmm,
strive for excellence.
hmm. Yeah.
That's all you can do.
And then I also really like the one that's like, just build it. You can make it good later. Because
Yeah.
I think that that's something else that stopped me a lot is when I want to start something new. I'm like, oh, then I have to think about every little thing of how it's going to go, have to make it this perfect thing if I'm going to show up doing this. But it's like, no, like every stream, I learned something new that I should do. I'm like, oh, okay, I need to grab this. Oh, this. And I've built with my community, and people also want to see you grow, and allowing people to see you grow, I think is important. Like you look back at like some of your favorite artists, like some of my favorite recordings, like of Jasmine Sullivan, for example, were like from when she was 11. And you can see her before she was, in
Yeah.
that thing. And I think that's beautiful. But
It's got a lot of
yeah.
soul in it that way. It's got a lot
Ugh,
of soul in it that way, you
exactly.
know,
And it's also just the thing of human connection. You know, I
which is
think
essential now.
it's what everyone wants. Like so it's that's what I think is so beautiful about Twitch because it's building this community around the music. And so I'm gonna launch my Patreon too for people who are not interested in the technical side, but that will have like more behind the scenes and like, that's acting as my record label, whatever, for the people that are just interested in that. But yeah, it's just I'm just trying to show up a lot right now.
I see it. I
Showing
see
up
you. I see
every
you.
day.
I see you. I fucking see you.
Thanks.
So being an engineer and a vocal producer, like, what are the challenges? What are
Hmm.
those challenges, like, mainly, and
Yeah.
how do you overcome them?
So as an engineer specifically, when you're not a producer and you're just engineering, so that means that um you're so in the service industry most of the time that it's very hard to have a work-life balance. So cute.
You
It's
know,
literally so cute. No, 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 no.
she's
Keep
so
working. She's
cute. And
so cute.
her purr is so loud. I feel like it's like squashing your
No, I
audio.
love it. It's
Okay,
so cute.
we'll keep her. We'll keep her here.
Oh my gosh. Um, but yeah, it's really hard to have a work-life balance, and it's very easy to burn out because you're just on someone else's timeline, someone else's schedule. And if you say no to something, it could be no for work for a year because like then they're gonna find someone else. Like it's very
Yeah.
I burnt out heavy, 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 heavy in 2019. I was fainting randomly. Like my
Oh
stress, like,
no.
yeah,
Like
like I
right
burnt
before
out.
COVID too.
Yeah, it was right before COVID. I burnt out heavy. And I had tied way too much of my worth to my success and to my productivity in my career. And yeah, I think that that's like the biggest danger I will say of like of a career like that because it's really hard to have boundaries and you can more so when you get further in your career. It's very hard to have that in the beginning because then it's like they're just
You
gonna
gotta
get
say
someone
yes.
else,
Yeah,
right?
you gotta say
Mhm.
yes to everything. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Super
I think
common.
that's like the biggest thing to overcome. And then also it's realizing that there's going to be ebbs and flows because it's a creative industry. So yes, okay, it's not going to always be you're always working. It's not going to always be you're not working. Because I would always every year for the first like 5 years get really stressed like over the winter. And I would be
Mhm.
like, oh my gosh, I haven't worked in so long, blah, blah, blah. And I would freak out. My mentor would be like, chill out, chill the fuck out. It's fine.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
would be like, okay. And then yeah, because when it's feast or famine and it's getting used to that, but it's important to diversify your income stream so that that can be okay and to save and to set up your business and so that your taxes are good and like all that kind of stuff. Make sure that you're setting yourself up to be good. But I think those are the most complicated because then it's the other stuff is all the interpersonal stuff and you learn that.
and you get that by reps.
Yeah, it's literally
Yeah,
reps. That's why I always tell people
yeah,
to vocal producer, engineer, their friends, people that don't sing, like just work with people, get used to like just doing it. You have to just get your muscle memory super up too, because if you get put in those rooms, that's one more other thing. If you get put in those rooms with like the big people, like I did really quickly, it's very easy for your body to go, I forget everything. I don't know how to do everything. What is
right,
happening? And
right,
so, but
yeah,
to make it so that it's so in your body that your brain can just be creative is so important. So like I don't
yeah,
like people will ask me key commands sometimes and I'm like, I have to like because I have to check what my muscle memory is. Like my hands will do it, but I don't. I have to like look what it is on the keyboard. You know?
yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
it's just kind of like it's just built in at that point. Once you get the
100%.
reps in,
Hmm.
it's just like how you do it. Like as a,
Yep.
it's just muscle memory,
100%.
and then you could actually focus on like the
Yeah.
extra
Yeah.
extracurriculars and shit.
Extra coach. Yes.
Extracurriculars.
Yes.
Uh, I got a good question. I got a good question for you, and it's kind of it's a question that's like everybody has a different answer for.
Okay, I'm ready.
Where does creativity come from?
Ooh,
Where does it come from?
for me, from God. I'm very spiritual in that, and I like anytime I create anything that I really love, I'm crying most of the time.
Wow.
Like
Okay. Yeah.
it's very like, and it's very much like I have to like harness that moment. So like, that's the one thing that I won't do on stream yet is write or like do things like that. Like when I'm writing, even like writing background vocal parts, like I don't like when people are talking to me during that because I'm very much like it feels like channeling something. I'm like, I don't, people will ask me, how do you know where to double or do these things? And it's just very much like I just feel where it's what's supposed to happen. And for me, yeah. So for me, it's very spiritual. It's God.
You're receiving it.
Exactly.
It's coming from the source.
Hmm.
You're receiving it. You are the conduit for this creativity,
Yeah. Hmm.
and it flows through you.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's one of my favorite kind of interpretations. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Of just creativity comes from like the organizing principle of all things,
Yeah. Hmm.
because everything is creative.
Hmm.
You look at a flower. It's like
Yeah.
you know, the fact that this cat is purring
Yeah.
on my lap right now, and it's just like making me calm.
Hmm.
It's just there's creativity flows through all things,
Yeah.
you know,
Absolutely.
and it's beautiful,
Absolutely.
you know.
Yeah.
Um, you know, you mentioned your line. I've been waiting patiently to be my own priority, people
Yeah.
pleasing.
Yeah.
Um, and you did explain the significance of that, but people pleasing.
Hmm.
How does one set boundaries? How
I
does somebody set those boundaries to have the line between being a people pleaser and being someone who is there for their person?
yeah.
How do you do it? Like for people that are people pleasers, what is
Yeah.
like a very tangible like
Thing. Yeah, I mean, I'm still working on it. What has helped me a lot was last year I read this book called Set Boundaries, Reclaim Your Life. And it has a workbook and a book. And it really helped me because I think before that, I thought boundaries were more external. And,
mm,
but really what's important is your internal boundaries first. So
mm.
it's like, I'm not going to sleep with my phone in my room because I know I won't get a
Oh
good night's sleep. I won't like whatever. I'm going to make sure I eat well and I don't eat those things that bother my gut because my brain then the gut microbiome brain link is like so strong. So it's like for me, it was like realizing, oh, I had to start self-parenting better and
mm,
take care of myself like I would a friend or a family member.
yeah.
And then it's realizing that you don't always have to be available like that it's okay to not be. That also came in for me and having friends that like I feel like I used to really apologize in a lot of my relationships like I'm so sorry I haven't been around because like I get very into my work and in what I'm trying to build and to build friendships that like just love you for you and that
Yeah.
including that and just love you to have you around when you're around and um yeah, it's I think it's a conscious exercise. That book really helped me. But it's every day I'm trying to remember that. And like
Say,
even
what's the book
today,
called? What's the book called again?
set boundaries, reclaim your life.
Okay, I dig
Yeah,
that. Yeah,
it's helping.
I like the concept of that because
Hmm.
it's you know you want to be there,
Hmm.
you know,
100%.
and it's important to be there. It's
He
important to be
agrees.
there.
Mhm. She agrees.
Do you agree? Okay,
Yes.
yeah, she agrees. It's important to be there for people, and it's
Yep.
important to like have that space for people. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? But there's also a boundary, and especially when people are you know, we all have that friend that was like struggling,
Hmm.
and you're there and you're always
Yeah.
there, and then it evolves into something that's like I'm bearing this burden and you're doing nothing to fix it. You're doing nothing to solve it. I'm trying to help. I'm trying to give you advice. I'm trying
Yeah.
to
Hmm.
do something for you. And
Yeah.
you're not taking the advice and you're not doing anything to help yourself. And this
Mhm.
is exhausting me.
Yeah, you got to move on from that. Yeah, and I think that realizing it's okay to be selfish too. I think that I always was just like, oh, being what people needed from me instead of what I needed from me. And like that's been a big like shift for me too. Cause I've gotten since I've started setting more boundaries, I'm way more introverted. And I didn't even know that about myself. But it's funny because when I told my
Yeah.
friends, I was like, guys, I think I had this revelation. I think I'm an introvert. And they're like, bitch, we knew. What are you talking about? Like, duh, you're an introvert. And I was like, oh, okay. Like I thought this was like a secret that, that I was keeping really well. And they're like, no, we see you. Um, and that's okay. Like yesterday, I went out dancing and I was not having it. I love going dancing, but it depends. It depends on the day. And today
Yeah.
I was supposed to go again, and I was like, I can't do it, y'all. That was too social for
Oh,
me. I was outside
yeah.
all day yesterday.
Back to
I
back.
need to be inside now.
Yeah.
Time to be on my couch with NCIS.
Yes. The unplug. The fucking
Yes.
unplug.
Yes.
I think boundaries are important.
Hmm.
Boundaries are extremely important. I heard something recently. It was like the reason why you get mad all the time is because people are always pressing up against your boundaries. They're always
But it's
pushing your
because
boundaries.
but okay, wait, really quick on that because that is something that I really realized within myself is I realized that I would get upset because I had not had any boundaries. I had been pushing boundaries, not even when other people were pushing them. I was not
Yeah.
having those boundaries of myself. I was like, oh, okay, I have to do this thing, so I'm not going to eat. I don't have time to eat. I'm doing all these things. So then something happens, and your boundaries have already been compromised so much. So then something happens, and it's easy for it to be like, oh, of course it's going to make you upset because you were not setting your boundaries for yourself. And no one's doing that to you, you know? It's like,
Straight up.
yeah. So like that was the big realization I had to have. I was like, bitch, you do this to yourself a little bit. You gotta.
I heard that shit and I was like, yo, like that was like one of those,
Mm-hmm.
it just
100%.
clicked. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh shit, like that makes a fucking lot of sense.
Right?
Yeah.
Totally.
So like just kind of when it comes to writing lyrics, when it comes to writing a song,
Oh yeah.
you're receiving the song.
Mm.
And, at what point are you like, I'm done with this song. This
Oh,
song is
yeah.
finished. How do you know when a
Yeah.
song is finished?
I feel like I've gotten better at that as I've started to make more music and as I've released music because I think it's really hard in the beginning to know when something's done because you're just like the perfectionist will start to kick in and it'll start
Mm.
to be like more of that. But like Bent, for example, I wrote it when I was really going through something and the the first take that I did of the hook, like it was just during my writing process. I was just doing melody ideas. I sang all the lyrics to the hook that the first take of my melody ideas that I did. So like, and that's what it is. And I think that it's also having the courage to like let something be what it is and to stop thinking like, oh, this has to be commercial, this has to be whatever. Like it's
Yeah.
letting go of that a lot has been really important for me. And I feel like my best stuff and my favorite stuff I've made has been the stuff that I've made when I didn't care. I just had feelings and I
Fucking
just was
fucking A.
creating, you
Yeah.
know?
100%.
Yeah.
And do you
Um,
do you feel like is there like ever like a technical criteria that you put it through, or is it always off of like a feeling or an emotion? Like this song's done, I feel it. Or is it
oh,
like
always
technically
feeling.
speaking, like
No, it's just a feeling. It's like I move a lot when I vocal produce too. So like I'm always like my friends will make fun of me. They'll be like, ha ha ha, look, I'm small vocal producing. And they're like, and I'm like, okay, all right, chill. All right. But like I move when
right?
I because the vocal when I lock into a vocal, I'm very much like that. Sooty is so cute. Oh my God. Um, but yeah, I'm very much like that when I listen to music. It's a very physical thing for me.
Hell
So
yeah.
yeah, so yeah.
100%. Yeah.
And like I'll know like, okay, now this is time to get mixed or this is time to get mastered. I think that the mixing process is when I still fight myself on my perfectionism.
Do you sit in the room for mixing sessions?
Hell no, I'm not gonna do that to somebody. That
Uh,
would be mean. I'm gonna
do you,
let
do
you
you
do
ever do
you.
you ever mix? Do you mix or do you just
So I mix like okay, so all the Spanish versions of my EP that I have coming out, I mix them all, but
like
I
100% or just like a level mix?
so what do you mean?
Like just tweaking the volumes and stuff, and then you
Well,
send it to somebody, and then they,
oh no.
compress it and EQ
Oh
and
no,
all
no,
that
no.
kind
I
of
do
shit.
everything. No, no, no. I do
Oh,
everything. But
sick.
yeah,
Damn.
yeah. But and like my like I Want You that I have out and Loved by You and Hold On, like I mixed all those. And there's a lot of mixes that I've done out. So it's like, sure, I'm a mix engineer. I just don't like mixing, so I don't
Yeah,
call
I was
myself
gonna
a mix
ask you
engineer.
if you're
I don't like
also a
it.
mixing engineer. Yeah,
I
you got to
can
be
and I
careful with
have.
that.
That's the thing. And so I really don't qualify myself as one because I think that like production, I have dedicated a good portion of my life to becoming great at that thing. And
Hell yeah.
people have done the same thing for mixing. I am not that. I just know how to make something feel good in my body. And that's what I'll do, you
I
know?
think it's dope to have that awareness too. You
Yeah.
know what
I
I'm
think it's
saying?
important.
It's so fucking important because it's just
Yeah.
like, yo, like I just want to direct this shit and
Yeah.
give it to an editor.
Yeah.
Like
Totally.
they're such better editors than me.
100%.
Such better
Hmm.
people at like color grading, colorists, and
Yeah. Because that's
like
their craft that they're
it's
passionate about.
yeah, it's just it's the one thing that they do and they do it
Yeah.
fucking well,
Yeah.
and like at the beginning, and especially when you're like independent or
Yeah.
just getting it on your own, like sometimes it necessitates
Oh,
that,
100%. And that's
and
kind
that's
of where I
fine.
am with like the Spanish versions of the EP, but I'm able to take the English versions. I got mixed, and then he gave me the instrumentals, like the mixed instrumentals. So I'm using that for the instrumental, and then I mix all my vocals on top of it, and then I give it to the mastering engineer. And
Mm,
so it's that's cool, but I don't like it. It's funny when I do
yeah,
these on stream, like my stream will be like it's very much I need treats. I need a lot of treats to get through it because I like
yeah, dude. Especially when you're like fucking really getting into a mix, and you're
yeah.
like, this sounds pretty fucking
And
good, and
then
then you the next day you listen to that mix, and you're like, what the fuck is this?
so what we do to alleviate that is because I'll get to a point where I'm like, oh my gosh, nothing I'm doing, I'm not making this better right now. So then we go on field trips and I'll do like an IRL stream and we'll go get ice cream or go get chocolate covered pretzels. And then we come back,
Fuck.
and then I always say I have PTC, post treat clarity, and then I'm better at my job.
Just need to get the blood sugar up a little bit. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying? Just get
and
this
then I'm
shit.
better.
Get back in the fucking vibe.
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
that's funny. Um, so songwriting process, we kind of got into that a little bit.
A little bit.
Where do you get the like? Is there creative inspiration? You're like,
Yeah.
that's nature
Feelings.
inspires me, feelings, love, family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
what is that
Yeah.
typical creative inspiration?
Yeah. Totally. So I write, first of all, the one thing we didn't talk about was um I write using Pro Tools as so much of like my instrument because like I go through, I find samples and like I'm creating and then I'm creating like with my voice and that's how I write music. I didn't know that was a thing before I worked with like The Dream and Sean Garrett and I was their engineer and watching that that's how they wrote. I was like, "Oh,
That's interesting.
duh."
Yeah.
And then that made so much sense to me. So that's how I write now. That's how I've written all my music. But yeah, it's normally when I just have a lot of feelings
Yeah.
and like it's my therapy. It's like how I process
Oh
things.
yeah.
I'll write these songs about these men that don't mean anything to me that I don't like feel all that about, but like I get a feel. I'm like, ooh, that feeling's cool, and then I'll go like deep into that
Yeah, we
feeling,
could explore that. Yeah.
100%. And then like even I'm a little crazy because I'll even when people's sons are shitty, I'll be like, but I like the song, so grateful for that experience. So I
Yeah.
like this.
Hell
I
yeah.
like the song. Um, yeah. But yeah, it's just when I feel things a lot. It's really my therapy. I always write at nighttime because, and there's like science behind that. It's because the critical part of our brain starts to shut down for sleep. So we start to be, it's easier to be creative and not to be so self-conscious and
Is that
whatever.
is that why? Does that explain it? Cause
Isn't that
fuck,
cool?
dude, I'm just
Yeah.
like, it could be fucking 12 a.m. and I'm like, all right, let's get it
Yep.
cracking. You know what
100%.
I mean? It's
Yep.
just something about that.
Yep.
I've always been that way.
Yep.
And it's
Same.
really tough in like a modern context
Hmm.
to like make that fit within the American like 9 to 5
I
system
know.
of doing shit. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And sometimes that's tough because you fuck around, work till 3 a.m. and then you're like, fuck, dude, I got to get
Dude,
up in the
that's what
morning.
I keep doing. And that's why, so since that podcast where I was talking about, like, I've been stuck in my fight or flight. Like last night I went to bed at 4:30 again. Like
Yeah.
I keep doing it because I'm
And
just
it's
like,
so easy. It's so easy for
yeah,
people like
so
us. You
easy.
know what I'm saying? Because it's like that shit's like ingrained. That
100%.
that that shit's ingrained in my both of my parents are like that too.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And like they have to fight it to like work
Yeah.
their jobs and do their everyday lives.
Yeah.
You know.
Totally.
I think like one big thing. So I think what makes a really great artist. I think what
Uh,
really makes a great artist is their songwriting.
okay.
I think like that's like one big thing that like once you're a really great songwriter, you're not just in there spitting lyrics or whatever. Like that is kind of what brings you into that elite level. And when it comes to your songwriting process, like what are some tips like to become a better songwriter?
Yeah. Um, well, okay. So first, I do think that not all artists have to be writers. Like Whitney Houston, right?
Yeah,
Did not
yeah,
write,
yeah,
didn't she didn't write her music, but she's like iconic. But like she had her voice. But I think that for me, songwriting is a really big important part because it's it's telling your story and it's really just being able to show that. And for I had to kind of get over my fear of writing too. I think it's like a lot of what I've talked about today is just getting over yourself a little bit and your fear
yeah,
of being seen in different ways.
yeah.
So I just had to write a lot of shitty songs.
Fucking it. Yeah, for real.
You got to do. You just have to you're not going to get good at something until you get through the being shitty at it. So
Preach.
that's it. So Breathe In, I didn't write. That was my first song that I wrote for the Thick of It EP, but I didn't write it thinking, "Oh, I'm making something for this." I had just been writing a lot of shitty music. I had a lot of feelings because a boy hurt my feelings, and then I wrote Breathe In, and it was the first thing that I wrote and I was like, "Wait, I think this is my voice as an artist. I think this is
Mm.
for me."
You
But
started
I
finding it.
yeah, I was like, wait, this is mine. This isn't for pitch. This isn't for sync. This is mine. And then I started making the project around it because I was like, okay. And then I followed that, but it just came from making a lot of music. Yeah.
Fucking this shit. It all comes down to reps, man.
Hmm. Yeah.
It all comes down to getting those repetitions, huh?
100%. And honestly, thank you to that man because it was a COVID silly relationship that I was in, but I don't know if I hadn't been hurt like that, if I would have done the artist project yet, because I needed to feel something so deeply that would like show me what my sound was and show me like that piece of me that I didn't know yet, you know? So I'm grateful
100%.
for that.
Yeah, it's like it kind of reveals itself to you.
100%.
That's sick.
Yeah.
And I just, dude, I like really believe in that repetitions
Hmm.
thing. Like
Hmm.
it's just like it's
Yeah.
proven itself to be true so many times that it's just like one of those factual statements
Hmm.
when somebody says it to you and people are like, "Ah,"
I know
it's
because they
it,
don't want to get through the part of not being good at it, but you have to. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, because it's almost like it's one of those things where it's like, all right, well, money won't bring you happiness, and
Yeah.
spend time with your parents because
Hmm.
time is finite. Things like that,
Hmm.
those little things. It's like you almost have to experience it
Yeah.
to understand.
Totally. Totally.
And it's tough. It doesn't matter how many people say it over and
Hmm.
over and over again, and it starts to become a platitude, and it
Yeah.
starts to become a cliche and all that shit. It's like some people just have to
Yeah.
live it,
Totally.
you know.
Totally.
And I think that's the same with anything, especially a
Hmm.
creative discipline.
100%.
Um,
Discipline.
do you are there structures you stick to? Are there tempos? Are there like rhythms or grooves or any kind of certain things that you like try to stick into, or are you just like, I write, this is how it comes out?
Yeah, I just write. And I mean, I think so. I'm releasing my second EP this year that's done. But then the album is what I'm working on now. The album I'm trying to lean more into staying more soul music. But
Uh-huh.
like there's a song on there that's like kind of like like uh gospel-y. And I'm like,
Okay, yeah,
I don't think I care. Like
fuck it.
I just make music to make music. And then I have another project. It's called It's like a more singer-songwritery, like folky project that I just put all those songs together because I was like, I write them, I'm gonna put them out. Sure, I'm a soul singer, but like I also like making this music and like,
You have the voice for that genre for
oh,
sure.
thank you,
Yeah.
thank you. And then I do Vocal City. It's so many background vocals. It's so fun to create.
Vocal City. I
Vocal
like
City
that. Just dubs on dubs on
stacks,
dubs on just
just
stacks.
stacks.
I have
Yeah.
to scroll. I have
Oh,
to
100%.
scroll. Yeah.
Heck yeah. But I think that things that I gravitate towards, like I love me some 3, 4, 6, 8 time. Like, listen, all day that stuff connects with my brain and my body. I don't know what it is. Something about
It's a
3 or
different, it's
6.
got a swing, it's got a different
Uh-huh.
kind of groove to it. Those time signatures, like
My
it's
favorite.
just yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um
That's it.
Music's constantly changing and evolving and stuff like that. Do you like, cause like you're in these rooms with people that are like putting out music that is universally enjoyed. Do
Hmm.
you like study trends? Do you like pay attention to how things are evolving, or do you just kind of ignore that and let yourself kind of be the conduit or whatever?
For my artist project.
Yeah.
Yeah, for my artist project, I can't because then you're constantly trying to imitate things that were probably made a year ago. So you're never going to be current. And
Facts.
and like even like think about like Dochi's project. Like she made that in 2021, right? And is popping the fuck off now, but it's because she wasn't paying attention to the trends going on around then or like whatever. So I think it's really important to learn things from things that are coming out now. Like, oh, that's cool. I can use that. Oh, that's cool. I can use that. But for me, for my artistry, it's really important for me to just do what feels right for me. And the people that connect with it will connect with it, you know?
I love that shit because you're just tapping into intuition. And
Yeah.
like honestly, that's where I don't know. That's where that real raw creativity comes from.
Hmm.
I think.
Totally.
I think.
Totally. I
You
agree.
know. Yeah.
Hmm.
Biggest lesson that was hardest to learn.
Um,
And that could be life. That could be
yeah.
music. That could be.
Um, um, that not, I mean, this is like very obvious, but that not everyone's gonna like you or what you make, and like really being okay with that. Like really being okay with people not liking your art, and just be like, doesn't matter, I like it. I think that that's hard because like when you first make things, it's like, oh, this is my precious, this is my child, like, I made these things, but it's like, that's okay. Just because some people don't like your art doesn't mean that it's not valid. So yeah, and
That's
you'll
what's
find your
cool.
people that do.
That mentality is so fucking important.
Yeah.
I believe that wholeheartedly.
Hmm.
And like I'm like fucking art is so subjective.
Hmm.
I'm like
Exactly.
having this dispute with this guy. I'm like,
Yep.
yo, if you like this movie, you like this movie.
Hmm.
Cool.
Yep.
And he's like, well, you saying that like every piece of art is subjective is like saying like eating a turd and eating a steak is subjective. I'm like, what a stupid fucking
It's
equivalence.
because
It's
people
like,
want black and white, but it's not. It's not black and white.
it's not.
Mm-mm.
It's just like, dude, that's the thing. It's like even your mindset, your mind frame when you
Yeah.
see it or when you like whatever. If you hear a song or whatever piece of art
Yeah.
that is, it could be like a mindset or something that like really touched you in that moment, in that
Hmm.
season of life. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Yeah, I just
Totally.
it's so subjective,
Yep.
and that's what's
Absolutely.
cool about it.
Yep.
That's what's cool about it.
Yeah.
Um, how would you define success, Simone?
So now this is it. This is cool because so I think my version of success has changed as I've aged. And so at this point in my life, my version of success is being able to make a good living, like not just a living, make a good living off of my creativity. That's it. So, yeah, that's like where I am now. I think that it used to be, I want these Grammys, I want these things. And it's like, I want to go live wherever I want and make my living off of my creativity. That's it.
I fucking love that
Yeah.
because I I'm like the same.
Yeah.
I have the same. It's just like live off this.
Hmm.
Do
Totally.
do the things that like make
That
the
you
things that
love.
I want to make that I love, and
100%.
live off that. And that's
Yep.
success to me.
Yep.
You know, I have a very blessed life.
Hmm.
I, if I really just break shit down, it's
Yep.
just like, I got a roof, I got a car,
Yeah.
huge luxury,
Yeah.
clean water. I got a beautiful
Yep.
wife that loves me, supports
Yep.
me. It's like
Yep.
I have it. I'm there.
Exactly.
In my head, I'm fucking there. But it's like to continue to be fulfilled, I
Hmm.
do have to challenge myself creatively. And
Yep.
to challenge myself creatively requires me to make a living off of it,
Yep.
Like I gotta be able to pay bills and shit while I
100%.
do this creative shit.
Hmm.
It's
Yeah.
important.
And I think that yeah. Yes, 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 yes. I've been really just following joy these days and trying to monetize the things that bring me joy because I, instead of the things that I'm perceived or that people want me to be good at or thinking I like things because I'm good at them, you know?
Yeah,
Because there's a difference there. You can be good at
sure.
something that you don't like. So,
Fucking absolutely. I'm a pretty
yeah,
good cook,
yeah,
but I don't ever want to be a fucking line cook again.
yeah,
Oh my God, cooking commercially was just very, it was very frustrating.
yeah,
It's just a hard job. But
yeah, I
like I
bet.
love cooking a badass meal for my wife,
That's awesome.
cooking a badass meal for my family.
That's
Being
sick.
a chef, but like chefing for people that you love.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Like,
That's the shit.
yeah. Even like, it's so silly, but I love to bake. And we started doing in my streams, we'll do we bake and then we make music. So like, have a recipe that's from someone in the community and we'll all get the ingredients and then we bake and then I make music. And then we have treats at the end. And like, that's so
Bacon make,
fun.
bacon make.
Exactly. And I'm like, hey, and instead of just me sitting alone doing this thing, I can build a community around just the different things that I love. Like even like this podcast that I'm doing has been such like an exercise of gratitude for me because instead of it being like, oh, a guest on something because of my expertise, this is my show and my whole thing is just that it's my personality. And so like to be so
Yeah.
seen, like to put like my Dwight bobblehead like on the
Oh
shelf
hell yeah!
behind
Come
and like
on.
you know what I mean? Like where everything is very Simone coded and like that's why I'm there feels so fulfilling to be seen fully like that, you know?
And
So
that's kind of why I'm doing this. I was like, well, I like having conversations.
yeah,
For one, I
yeah.
love the art of a
Hmm.
conversation, and then I also just love talking to creative people
Yeah,
about
totally.
creative shit because it's just
Totally.
like there's so much to learn. There's
Yeah.
so much to learn from their perspective, from your
Hmm.
perspective specifically. It's just
Yeah.
because you see the world different than everybody else sees the world.
Mm.
And it's really cool to like hear about what drives
Thank you.
creative people. It's it's
Yeah,
it's awesome. I love it.
totally.
I'm like, well, then let's record it.
100%. Why
Fucking
not?
put it on the fucking internet.
Exactly. Put it on the internet.
Fuck it.
I'm putting everything on the internet right now. I'm like, okay,
Put it
where are my
put it up.
boundaries right now? Where are the
Put that
internet
shit
boundaries?
up. Because I'm like, yeah, I'm another white guy with another podcast. I'm aware of this shit. And they're like, well, fucking, why do they keep giving fucking podcast fucking
But no
mics
one's
to
giving
people?
it to you.
It's
Yeah.
like, I bought this shit.
I,
This is
I got it
all,
myself.
this is
It's
all me.
mine.
I got this pop filter to help me
Yeah, it's
with
okay,
my
pop
siblings and
filter.
my
There you
plosives.
go. You have two pop filters there, huh?
I do because this little piece of shit doesn't work that well.
Yeah, because
It just doesn't
fair.
catch it, and I feel like I can't breathe in front of the mic. Like I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah. The metal ones, I'm not a fan of the metal pop filters.
I don't think they catch them. Like I
I
just
don't
don't
like
think
it.
they.
I like
Yeah,
the double layer ones. Yeah.
yeah. This
Mwah.
one's got 2 layers.
Nice.
We're winding down, and
Yeah, we've been talking for a minute.
we got hour 30. Thank you
I'm
for
like, damn.
it flies. It flies when you're talking about shit that you love and shit that you
Yeah.
really enjoy. It's like
Uh-huh.
it's great.
Listen.
It flows.
Yes. And with cats.
What do you want to be known for, Simone?
Ay. I I think that you're remembered for how you make people feel. And I was having this conversation with my friend Dan recently, and he was like, "Oh, I want to be known for being the best at this." I'm like, I don't really have that want. I just want to be happy. And I hope that people that I'm around feel happy around me and feel seen. And yeah, I want to be known for improving rooms that I'm in, making rooms lighter, like whatever, like being a light, I guess. Yeah.
Man, see, I knew you were cool. I knew you were cool. I have a fucking my philosophy is damn near the same.
Oh, really?
Be a light.
Yep.
Be a light. Lead with light and
Mm-hmm.
love.
100%.
Make shit a little cooler. Make shit a
Yeah.
little better,
Mm-hmm.
and
Totally.
make people feel good and have a little bit of an impact. You know,
Yep. 100%.
it's everything.
Yep. Absolutely.
It's everything. I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
wrap it up. I'm gonna wrap it up with these two. Okay.
Ready.
Favorite dad joke.
Oh God. But dad jokes for me are like the things that come up in a conversation and then it's like a really bad pun and then you run around the room and no one laughs. Like,
Yeah. Do you have just
um,
like a banger, like go to dad joke?
no, because I just, it's the wit. Dad jokes are like wit to me. Like, it's just like it's the quick, I always do the you're a blah, blah, blah. I'm such an ass doing that. So stupid. God, I don't know. That's a really good question. I don't have a good answer for that.
Here, I got one. I got one.
What?
Oh wait, yeah. What does a kid with ADD eat for lunch?
He doesn't eat lunch.
Let's go play with our bikes.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. That's
We
a good
talked
one.
we talked about like, NCIS and shit and like
Yeah,
guilty pleasures.
yeah,
My guilty pleasure, it's reality TV.
yeah,
Like I
100%.
love watching reality TV with my wife. But
Yeah.
do you have anything like, you love hot Cheetos or fucking,
No. Oh my
double
God.
cheeseburger?
I cannot. I tried hot Cheetos one time. I had a migraine for 3 days. My body
A
said, I rebuke
migraine?
this. Oh God. Oh my God. My body said too much red 40. It could not handle
It's
it.
like, nope, we ain't
It
doing
said,
this.
we're not doing that. Oh, okay. But mine is, they're in my room. But the Unreal chocolate covered pretzels because they're
Oh,
gluten free and they're made with avocado oil and like
oh,
they're very clean. But oh my gosh, I need to be sponsored. I talk about them all the time because I can't afford it in this economy. It is $6.20 a bag, and I eat almost a bag a day. Not okay.
are you
Okay.
going to what is it, the Erewhon, or what is that fucking
No, but
expensive LA grocery
no,
store?
but they only sell them at like Whole Foods or Target. We're not going to Target now. And like, I just, yeah, they're just expensive as heck. And then I get them and I'll be like, I'm only going to buy a bag. And then no, I'm at the store again the next day. And then I'll be like, okay, I'll buy 4 bags and that'll last me. No, bitch, that lasted you 2 days.
Four
Like,
bags, but just stock the fuck up.
it is so bad because, but not, that's not even stocked up because I'll eat them in 2 days. Like, because if I have it, they will be eaten. Like a serving is a bag of them. This really, a serving is like a seventh of the bag, but I eat a bag and you know what I mean? Like that's
What's
the
one
thing.
serving like? What are like the calories of like one serving? So it's like 7 servings for a bag.
Can I grab them? Let me show you.
Grab that shit.
Okay, hold
Yeah.
on, hold on, hold on. But yeah, okay. So these are the Unreal chocolate covered pretzels. Holy guacamole, I'm obsessed with them. All right, so it's 3.5 servings per container.
Okay.
There's 140 calories per serving.
Okay.
7 grams of sugar,
Okay.
2 grams of protein. So basically, whoa,
2 grams
that's
of
not.
protein.
But if
Two.
I'm eating a bag and a bag is 3.5 servings, you know what I mean? That's like
Yeah.
not nothing.
It's what is that?
7 grams of protein.
Yeah, which is, that's solid.
Which
But we're talking fucking like 700 calories.
that's okay.
Fuck it.
I
You know
don't
what I'm
really
saying?
care. See, I I eat really clean, but that's like for my gut health and because my body, whatever. Because I'm really active. I like being active. So I don't really I've never really watched that, but
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, but I
I
can't.
would I would smash a whole fucking bag of those because I
It's
actually
so
like.
easy.
See, like me and sweets, our relationship is a little. You know what I'm saying? I don't eat a lot of sweets, but something about chocolate covered shit is bomb as fuck. And so I could fuck up some food. I would smash that whole bag, no problem.
What do you think I'm
But
gonna do as soon as this podcast is over? I haven't even had breakfast yet. Maybe I should have breakfast first, but yeah,
I had a fucking protein shake. That's it. That's all I've had. Because I'm fucking cutting right now, and so
you're
I'm like in a
cutting.
calorie deficit,
Oh yeah,
and
yeah,
I'm fucking tracking all my
yeah. Your
fucking.
macros.
I'm tracking my macros and
Yeah,
shit,
yeah.
and I've lost fucking like 8 pounds or some shit. So I'm in
Nice.
here. I'm in here. I'm out here doing it. But
I don't want you to be intimidated, but I have been to Planet Fitness like 4 times.
oh shit. I
So
think didn't you said you just got a gym membership again, huh?
I
Yeah,
haven't had one as an adult. Like since high school, I haven't had a gym membership. And
yeah.
it is so fun. I love the gym. It's fun.
No, yeah, I get in there and get after it
Yeah.
for sure. It's the shit. It's
But
like the
then I
best
don't
way
eat
to.
enough. I don't eat enough, and then that's my issue. And then I have to be careful to not go too hard, heavy, like not go too heavy or do too many things because I'll go in there and I'm having fun, and so then I'll want to do more, and then I get too sore, and then I'm not eating enough protein, and then it's just getting it from my muscles, and then that's bad. And so I
And
have to like
you're not recovering, and you're not like.
atrophying. I'm like, no,
Yeah, dude.
hello.
It's important. It's just like prioritize protein. Eat a lot
But
of
I
protein.
know, but it's hard. I do, but it's hard.
Do you have like a protein powder?
No, that's the thing because my gut can't handle any protein powder, so I have to
Not
get it
even
from.
the plant-based shit.
I've tried plant-based. I've tried so many different
Did you
ones.
try isolate? You try whey
Yeah,
protein
I
isolate?
have. Yep, exactly.
Of course you
My
did.
body
Yeah.
just goes no, and so it's
And you're
like
Latin
eggs.
too, so like whey and Latin people, it's just like that shit.
Oh no, I can't do anything. So I eat a lot of eggs and red meat. I eat a lot of meat and whatever, but
Yeah.
it's hard for me to get enough protein in because but it's not hard for me to get enough of this in my diet.
It's not hard to get enough unreal. This was a fucking dope conversation.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
I really enjoyed it, and we even got a
Me
little bit into
too.
nutrition there at the end.
Did
We covered it.
we did, and we had cat time.
We did fucking a. We had some cat time.
This is good cat time.
I got this sleeping little guy right now on my lap.
That's good.
Is there anything we didn't cover? Is there any like last thing you want to kind of
I think we talked about everything. But
touch
I
on
think
there?
that, okay, the last nugget that I'll say is I think that you have to believe in yourself and what you're building before other people will. People want to hop on something that's successful already, but it's in that building stage when you believe that something will be a thing that's really hard to hold on to. Um, but you just gotta do it. Nothing's built overnight, and small steps add up.
Mm. What that is the perfect way. That is the perfect way to end this thing. So tell the people how to find you. Like do all the plugs. You know
All
the
right,
Twitch
ready for the
and all
plugs?
that.
We're
Plug
still
it up.
ready?
Let's
All
go.
right. So my name is Simone Torres. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, any of the platforms. My handle is I am Simone Torres. I am on Patreon if you want to support me as an artist. Simone Torres on there. If you want to watch our Twitch streams, I'm Simone Torres on Twitch, and I stream twice a week, and I make all of my music live on Twitch. I vlog if you want to see me building this journey of trying to move to Spain and build my dream life of following joy and being able to make a business around it. That's every week on my YouTube as well. And yeah, and I have music out. My name is Simone Torres on all the music stuff.
If you want just good vibes,
Yeah,
you need to follow this woman.
good time.
Point
Thank
blank
you.
period.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming on.
Of
I appreciate you
course.
coming on to my little pod,
Of course. Happy to be here.
chopping it up with me.
Happy to be here.
All right, Simone, appreciate you.
See ya.